Hello and welcome to another pricing video in our pricing series on ShopVOX. Today in this video we're going to be covering awnings. That's right, awnings, canopies, vestibules. We're going to show you one particular product here that can be used for awnings. We also have another product that we use for awning reskins. And we also have a product here for retractable awnings. So we'll cover the awning product here today, and we'll do the awning retractable another day. Let's kind of dive in here a little bit and talk about the build of materials of an awning and canopy. So this is how the product is built. It is built with a nice photograph of showing the different types of styles. This is actually pretty important because the drop downs are relative to the information here in the photo. All right, so as we dive into the pricing template, we can take a look at some of the attributes and the repricing options that are required. We have things such as egg crates. We have things such as which vinyl, the amount of colors, if it's going to be painted, the height, the depth, the width, okay? We have some fabric options to choose from, a labor option to choose from, and an installation trigger here as well as some other items that are queued up to be added to your bill of materials list depending on the selections of these booleans or these options here that you choose. So let's dive in here a little bit. So we're going to type in awning, spelled that wrong, build of materials. Okay, so here is how the product is built out. Right away, we default to a base price of $250. That's how this product is programmed. We have a couple of bubbles here for us to fill out some information, the amount of colors, the amount of egg crates that are going to be needed, height, width, depth of the awning. We have some Boolean boxes here, whether or not this is going to be a light up awning, if support poles are going to be needed, if it's a rush job, if we're removing a sign. We also have some opportunity for vinyl graphics rather than painted graphics. So depending on what option you choose here is going to dictate a different calculation. And also permit charges here. And again, you can adjust all of these rates inside of ShopVOX. So you can make it your own however you'd like. So let's talk about the awning fabric. So we have a couple of different selections here with some nice images of some work that we found online that's going to best illustrate the type of fabric that you're going to choose. So here you have an exotic translucent vinyl for awnings at 80 inches high. That's a different rate than if you got it at 60 inches. We have a Cooley Bright fabric, which is, here's an image of it showing how it would illuminate with the words actually being to be able to be eradicated. That's the word that you use with Cooley Bright awnings. Sunbrella fabric with a couple of sunbrella swatches there. And we also have the sunbrella fabric with patterns. So you have a shop fabrication rate, which I will go into a little bit. And then we have all the custom fields to answer this question. So let's kind of go ahead and start building out our product. So we're going to start with one. We need one awning. And we'll come back to egg crates in a minute, but we're going to talk about what kind of color here. So we're going to say one color just to be safe. The height of the awning, let's say it's 40 inches. The width of the awning is going to be, let's say 10 feet, so 120 inches. And the depth would make it 24. Okay. Now that we have that information, you see that the pricing didn't change, which means that it's not necessarily triggered anything yet. So we're going to say, okay, well, we're going to make this a sunbrella fabric awning. And we're going to make this, say, it is a painted graphics awning. Okay. We don't need any support poles, and it's, for the sake of this example, it won't light up. We'll go through our labor. And we're going to have the same variants as we've shown in other videos here, but this time it's more catered towards the awning product. So we're going to start with welding. We're going to say it's going to take about 10 hours to weld. Okay. We're going to have some assembly time. So we're going to actually lay that fabric on. That's going to take maybe 5 hours. we're going to, let's see, where's the painting time? Okay, we're going to need to paint those graphics, so we're going to say that that's going to take 8 hours as well. Okay, I'm going to hit yes to continue here. We will be installing the sign, but we're not going to go through that right now. We're going to go through that in a later stage, but we're going to say okay, so here it's saying what type of awning is wanted. So this is where you would go ahead and consult with your picture here, because these drop-down items are correlating to this picture. So we're just going to make this a standard awning. Okay, and do you want the awning frame painted, yes or no? We'll say yes. Okay. Mounting style, we're going to say it's going to be mounted to a concrete wall. Is there electrical access? Yes, but we don't need it, so we'll say no. Do you need a sign permit? You should say yes. Are we removing a sign? For the sake of this example, we'll say no. All right, so you can see here we got some pricing here, but that's not completely accurate, so we're going to hit save and continue here, and it's going to bring us to my favorite page, the bill of materials page. So this is where everything is going to get calculated. So how many feet of umbrella fabric do you need? Well, we said it's a 10-foot awning, and we have it 2 feet deep, so we want to cover all the sides, so it's going to be a total of 14 feet. So we can just punch in 14 here. Again, you can have this program the length, so you can actually have this calculate the feet automatically if you'd like. We also need to know how many lengths of steel tubing that we're going to use here, or aluminum tubing. I have it however you'd like. So we're going to have to put here a couple of numbers that your fabricator will have to know. So we're going to say I'm going to need probably 3 lengths of this, and the gator stitch, I'm probably going to need 3 lengths of that as well. We need 1 gallon of paint, right? Because we only selected one color. And it's calculating some paint mask that we're going to need there. Also, it would calculate the amount of vinyl that you would need as well with that same square foot measurement here based off of the area that we selected. 23 hours of shop fabrication. And there we have a price of $1,294 at a cost of $906 to make this 10-foot awning. Now, again, you may not be satisfied with the markup percentages, and that's fine. You can simply go in and change a lot of these pricing based off of what you're actually used to charging in your market. But this is just an example of how the awning product here is populated with all of the items that you need. You just need to enter in the quantities and make sure that your costs and your pricing for those materials are what you want to charge. So that's the build of materials awning product. Let's go through another one really quick, and let's type in Awning Retail. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit simpler for those shops that aren't necessarily making the awnings in-house. So here we got a couple of different questions, a few less Boolean options, and some more drop-down options here. So let's go through this together. So how many feet of fabric? So let's use that same example here. We're going to say 14 feet of fabric. The width of the awning is 120 inches. The height, what did we say? It was 40 inches, I believe. And the depth is 24. Number of egg crates. So egg crates are 2 by 4. So we'll use, I think we're going to use 5, let's say 5 egg crates here for a 10-foot awning. We're going to say 1 color again. And the number of accessories, we will come back to that. We have a Boolean here that says paint awning frame instead of a drop down in the last example. So yes, we'll say we want to paint that frame, and it's automatically going to put our painting the frame rate of $175 into the product. So like the last example, we're going to now choose our fabric. We have the same pretty much options, but here it's not really choosing the fabric, it's choosing the awning type. So how are you going to sell this? What type of awning is this? Is this a sunbrella pattern fabric with no graphics on it at all? Is it going to have cutout aluminum? Is it going to have a cutout illuminated graphics? Is it going to be an awning with painted graphics? Is it going to be an awning with vinyl graphics? Is it going to be an awning with eradicatable graphics? This is how we're programming it. We're actually programming by awning type, not fabric type. So this is actually a little typo here. It should just say awning type. So here in this example, we're going to just do a umbrella with painted graphics here. Okay, so now you see that the price changed. We got a $987 so far. Extra painted colors, we're going to go here and hit one-shot awning paint because we have to paint it. So now the price went up to $12.37. We don't need to do any vinyl graphics because this is a painted awning, but if you needed to, you would use one or the other. Okay, so right now it's triggering one color to whatever my selection is here. So if I change this number to 2, you'll notice that the price changes to $14.87 because there will be 2 colors of a paint job. So we're just going to go back down to 1 here, and it'll go back down to $12.37. The valance type, we have just straight and scalloped. So that's what a scalloped awning will look like. This is what a straight one will look like. So if you are going to sell a scalloped valance, you do need to charge for that. But if you select the straight straight is actually the default rate. So this won't change. But if I changed it to scalloped, the price would change back to $14.61. So we'll just make it straight for now. And finally, the accessories. So there are certain accessories that you would want to sell when you are selling an awning. You have gooseneck lighting. You have awning struts. Awning struts are, in this picture here, just basically the anchors to hold the awning out from the wall. And then you also have the lighting fixtures as well. These are all add-on items that you would trigger. So if you needed 5 awning struts, you'd put 5 here in the number of accessories column, and it would multiply the price of this awning strut with the number here that you enter into the number of accessories. We have installations, which we didn't cover in the last product, so let's cover that now. So this is very simple. We have a couple of variants that we found that most shops like to use. Number of installers with the type of vehicle times the hours that are used. So we have, if this is going to be a 10-foot awning, you're going to need 2 people with 1 truck, and it might take 4 hours to do. You hit add sub item here, and you'll have your installation number of installers with the vehicle type, and the installation costs would be calculated right into the build of materials page for you to use. So now we have a total price of $2,097 for that one awning. So we'll just kind of figure this out by selecting some of the information here that's going to show up here in the invoice. Standard for the type of awning that's wanted. Are we going to paint the frame again? Yes, we are, because we checked off this box here. Mounting style, we'll say it's a concrete wall. We don't need electrical access. We don't need a permit right now. We're not removing a sign. If we were removing a sign, we'd select yes, and also check this box here, which would make the price go up to $23.47. So we'll just uncheck that right there. And then we're going to hit save. And we wouldn't necessarily need to go through the build of materials page here, but we would like to see what is actually being charged for the customer. So right now we're billing the customer $860 worth of labor for 2 men to install this awning on a concrete wall building. So you have everything here, and now you can see this price is $2,097, the cost is $1,370. We have a nice 53% markup on this project. The shops that might use this product are going to want to adjust pricing for linear feet per awning. That's how this particular product in the Awning Retail product is calculated. It's priced by a metric, and that metric here is linear feet. So based off of the selections here that you'd have, this is what you would want to change, because right now it shows that we are charging $58 a linear foot for this type of awning when the cost is $40. That's the simple calculation. So if you're a shop that's doing a lot of awnings, you have a lot of data there that you can use to essentially put together a good estimate of what your true cost per foot would be versus what your retail price, average retail price, I should say, should be here. And that's what's going to allow you to be able to put together a metric product like the awning/canopy retail product that we've put together here. But if you're a shop that's fabricating your own awnings, the build of material item would be a little bit more precise, because you would have to select every item here in this particular line item. So you'd have to select your, how much time you're welding, how much material you're going to need, how much weld you're going to use, etc. And like always, based off of your selections, all of the information is populated here in the line item so that you don't have to type it out yourselves. It's going to tell your customer everything that you need to know about this awning, short of some of the specifics about the fabric, because there's a lot of fabric options there. So you might have to put that in here when you're back in this screen, I should say, you should be able to go back in this particular line item and hit edit here and type it here in your specs. So maybe you're choosing a certain type of sunbrella color, maybe it's a certain type of coolie bright color. This is where you would want to put that information, because we leave you a little space with a colon here to put in any particular data for your business, including changing the business name to your name here. So you might want to look into doing that as well when you are editing your product. All right, so that's it for awnings. I hope that you enjoyed this product. It is a cool product. It's a product that we took a long time to build for our shop, and I wanted to share that with the community here. Now, some of you have asked, and I'll just go quickly over this, to download this product. Okay, you're going to go to here, click on your name in the top left corner. You're going to click on POS settings, pricing, products, and then find your way over to the actions tab, and you'll hit copy products. Here are all the products that were created inside the ShopVOX community. So all you'd have to do is type in awning, and all of the awning products will come up here. I haven't made them live yet. I will do so at the conclusion of filming this video, but that's where you will copy these products into your ShopVOX Pro accounts. All right, that's it for me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe to this channel, and leave me a comment and let me know how you are working out with the awning product. Thank you so much, and I look forward to catching you on the next video in the pricing series. Have a wonderful day and stay positive out there.